Hello everyone, welcome. We're grateful that you have joined our Accounting 161 Principles of Managerial Accounting 2 class this summer. Good to have you with us. This video is just to make sure that you're familiar with everything, where everything is in the course, and kind of go over some of the things that we can expect for the next 6 weeks. So we have 6 weeks to cover 8 learning modules, and so we need to get familiar with how things are laid out so we can find everything and do so efficiently. So across the top here are the things that you will most likely need to click on and go to. Your grades, resources include things like tutoring and help that way, as well as library and if you need to do any research, and you can track your progress. Make sure that you're getting the way you want to. In fact, I'll tell you how many points you have and how many points you need to get the grade that you would like. In the middle here is our news feed where I will provide you with updates. You can check this at least once a week to see what that more like twice a week perhaps would be better. See if there's any changes to the schedule, and it'll point you to what you need to be working on, reminders and that sort of thing as we get started this semester. So this is the first one is welcome. On the right hand side is my picture and contact information. So that will get you the most important one probably. I mean, this is my email, although you can email me through Brightspace, and that's probably the best way to do so. But you can also, this has a link to my personal Zoom room, which will be where I will be during office hours for consultation if you would like to do it in a Zoom situation. At the bottom is a content browser and a calendar giving you reminders of things that are upcoming. All right, so that's how the main page is laid out and how to use it. Okay, let's click on the link to the syllabus and just highlight a couple of things about this as you read through this. First of all, this link here is to my Zoom room. Again, another link to that. Office hours, Tuesday 11 to 12 and Thursday evening 8 to 9 p.m. Okay, information about the course, refund dates, my email address again, administrative assistance phone number if you'd like to talk to somebody on campus, that sort of thing. Okay, gives you the catalog description, your prerequisites. You needed to take 160 and to be taking 151 at the same time. The textbook link is here. Okay, this link to our online textbook that is organized by chapter. You should see it coming up here. If you had 160 and we all use the same, okay, it will feel very much the same this way how it's organized. Each chapter has a opening scenario. It asks questions. It gives explanation, examples, okay, and then at the end of the chapter are your questions. End of chapter exercise, you have questions, brief exercises, okay, regular exercises, and then the problems. All of the questions, exercises, brief exercises all the answers to those are posted in the learning module for chapter 1. The problems is where you will have your homework assignment given. Okay, so that's how each chapter is organized. We have 7 chapters to cover in this textbook. Okay, there's a link to each chapter in the learning module, as well as a link to the whole textbook in the introduction module. So that's our textbook scenario. All right, we'll go back to our syllabus, and all that. There's a link there in the syllabus. There's a link in the learning module as well. Okay, lots of ways. Don't want you to ever have trouble getting to or utilizing the textbook. Our learning outcomes, expectations. Okay, please ask for help. I can't emphasize that much. As soon as you have a question, ask that. There's discussion boards in each learning module that are always open just for questions on those particular information. There's one for the textbook, one for the course overall, and usually one for individual, the major assignments as well. Okay, we'll have 2 tests, so you prepared a little bit. The first midterm will be problem oriented. We completed using an Excel spreadsheet. Okay. The final exam will be problem-oriented, but given in multiple choice, short answer format, completed online using the Brightspace system. You'll have 5 days, but you'll have only 120 minutes once you start with that final exam. We will do a test review prior to that happening at the end of our 6 weeks. Okay, a little bit about our discussion postings. Each of the first 6 learning modules, there will be a discussion board that will be required for grade. You'll see the instructions when you pull up the discussion board. It will require an initial posting and a follow-up. Initial by Saturday, follow-up by Tuesday. Okay, they should be 2 or 3 sentences. They should specifically respond to the instructions or questions in that discussion board. Okay, please be courteous, respectful. We should be able to we have a nice full class, and so we should be able to get some good feedback back and forth on those discussion boards with lots of good ideas. Okay, we're going to do some written memos. We're practicing our writing and research skills with short 1-page type assignments. Okay, the first one will be about the shift to automation, and the second one will be about our cash flow statement that we will learn more about later in the semester. Okay, you will do a rough draft. We'll have a Dropbox for that. You turn it in. I'll give you feedback, and then you'll use that feedback to complete a final draft. Each, the rough draft and the final draft, both worth 10 points. So total on our memos is 40 points. 2 memos, 2 drafts. Okay, you'll get feedback, but the rough draft will not be graded per se in terms of your word choice or spelling, grammar, that sort of thing. But the final draft will. And so if you don't make the corrections or don't update it or don't make improvements, then that will be points will be taken off on the final draft. Okay, the first draft will just simply need to be in the professional business memo format. If you use sources, okay, you must give credit to those sources in whatever way you choose, but you must give them credit. At the end, we'll have a cumulative project, okay, that will calculate some ratios. That will be kind of a wrap-up, actually serve as the homework on the last learning module, okay? And so we'll have a little more detail when we get there on that. Usually homework will be problems, like I pointed out in the textbook, where you'll complete the problems. You'll post those in to the Dropbox by Saturday, and then you'll be able to watch a answer video explaining my answers to those problems, where you can make any updates or changes. Those changes or corrections should be in a different color and have some explanation with them. Okay, so notice the highlight. You can use highlight, you can use different color, whatever, to have them stand out. Okay, and then explanation as to why you needed to make that correction. All right, the grading will be the same whether you did it completely correctly or if you needed corrections, as long as you correct everything and put explanation. Okay, here's our calendar. As you see, as we get to the 5th and 6th week, we will be doing 2 chapters or 2 learning modules each of those last 2 weeks in order to wrap up and get things taken care of. You can see the memos coming in here, the midterm, okay, and the final, and the dates that those are all going to happen. Here's our grading system. Everything's got points. Total points are 360. We just do a straight percentage in order to develop your grade for our time together. Okay. And we have our makeup policy, our withdrawal or attendance policy. Please let me know if you are missing class, and I need to not drop you because you intend to catch up or whatever. I will want to know what's happening in those situations so we can get you what you need to complete the course. And if you need accommodations or need any extra help, okay, you have all these various contact information to talk to someone at Acct about that, and our dishonesty policy for please do your own work on the homework and on the tests, and we'll all be very happy. All right, so go back to our course homepage. Let me show you how the content is laid out real briefly. All right, each module is basically laid out the same thing, and the reading or explanation submodule, like this, there's a link to the first chapter. Here's a PowerPoint presentation giving you the highlights of that first chapter. Here's my video explanation of that chapter. Here's the answers to all the end of chapter exercises except for the problems, all the exercises and questions, that sort of thing. Here's some extra examples videos. Here is the Excel spreadsheet that goes along with some of those examples. Okay. Here's a short 1-question quiz to ask if you will not disclose it to others. And then I have actually kept in the course the class recordings from a previous time that I taught this course, and did so with Zoom meetings. Those Zoom meetings were recorded. If you would like to watch them or have access to them, you may do so by answering that quiz, and then you'll be able to see that link to the YouTube video. Okay, here is the discussion, graded discussion we mentioned. Okay, and then the generic question discussion board. You can just ask questions about that, and then the assignment homework for that chapter. You click on that drop box and you'll see what problems are assigned, and that's where in the drop box you'll put your answers when you are completed. Okay, there's always a introduction, okay, and some information about our learning objectives, that sort of thing, to start each module. So they all kind of follow that same pattern, and so now you should have access and be able to get to whatever you need. Remember, please don't hesitate to ask questions if anything in this video or the syllabus is unclear. All right, looking forward to working with you. Thank you.